Welcome to MC in Focus at noon. I'm Joey Russell.
And I'm John Wildeman. We're glad you can join us for the final episode of this semester's MC in Focus.
Don't worry though, we'll be back next semester.
We have some exciting stories this week, but first, today's top story.
The Maryland State Court of Appeals have a new ruling that police officers can no longer investigate the possession of marijuana on individuals based on smell alone. Police have been frequently using a technique known as Terry stops, where they approach individuals on the street and question them, which leads to an unjust search of the person for contraband without consent, concrete proof. With the ruling in effect, the state of Maryland can reevaluate police training to construct better ways to enforce the law.
The Pandemic Prevention and Biodefense Center has begun to tackle how to avoid future pandemics, as well as coordinating public health policy and research. The Montgomery County Council has also voted unanimously to approve the $500,000 donation toward the Regional Pandemic Prevention Center. County Executive Mark Elrich said he supports any endeavors that can help, as the pandemic has shown just how unprepared the nation was. These actions are not only allowing Marylanders to slowly return to normalcy, but it also ensures the safety against any future viruses.
The Montgomery County Department of Transportation announced they will be adjusting ride-on bus schedules starting May 9th as to increased overall service and improved performance. All Montgomery County operated transit services will be free until June 30th. This includes services like Ride-On Extra and Flash. MC Dot is also reminding passengers that even though COVID-19 cases are going down, riders must wear a face mask at all times. Drivers will also offer one to people who do not have one. For more information, please visit www.montgomerycountymd.gov.transit.
For those who love farmers markets, Gaithersburg will be sponsoring two of them this upcoming summer. The Casey Market, relocated from Falk's Corner in Old Town, will now be held at the Casey Community Center on Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. The Main Street Market, opening July 1st, will be open from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays at the Main Street Park and Pavilion at 301 Main Street. Fresh fruits and bread will be featured, as well as coffee for those early bargain hunters. A reminder that guests are still required to wear masks at all times, and only service dogs are permitted at these events.
The famed Denzel Carousel in Glen Echo Park is now open and celebrating its 100th anniversary. The carousel has been closed since summer of 2019 due to repairs and remained closed in 2020 because of the pandemic. The reopening and anniversary will be celebrated tomorrow, May 8th, with an art exhibit called 100 Years in the Present. The ride was installed in 1921 and was fully restored in 2003. It is now listed on the National Registry of Historical Places. The Denzel Carousel is open May through September. Tickets are $5 per person and are limited due to COVID-19 restrictions. For more information and how to buy tickets, visit glenecho.org.
Coming up next, we have an exclusive sneak peek of the annual Council Member for a Day contest.
Have you ever wondered what your taxes pay for? Or how cities are maintained? If you've ever dreamed that you could make a change in your neighborhood, then Council Member for a Day is the right choice for you. Council Member for a Day was launched in 2015 by Montgomery County Council Member Craig Rice. The program gives middle and high school students a chance to come up with their own public policy initiatives. In past years, students wrote an essay on a policy they would like to initiate or a solution to a community problem. But, with COVID-19, the program has gone virtual and includes visual storytelling. Students worked in groups of 1, 2, or 3, with a teacher who mentored them. Each student was given a loaner iPad, courtesy of Apple Education. The students highlighted their policy ideas through a story that showed the impact of the idea or solution.
And now, the envelope, please. And the council member for a day is Healthy Eating Disorders Among Teenagers by Allison Fan from Churchill High School. Congratulations, Allison.
Now let's hear from Allison Fan about her experience with Council Member for a Day.
how did you hear about Council Member for a Day?
I actually found it through my school email because our school sends us a bunch of different volunteer opportunities, and I saw this one and I thought it was really interesting and I wanted to give it a try.
Involved in anything political or thing that's governmental like this before?
I did another video competition that's also similar, and it's also like talk about an issue you care about, but it's on a national level instead.
And then how was it working with the instructors and the Apple people that were giving you advice? How about all the support you got? I guess that's a way to.
Yeah. Everybody was really helpful, and they gave me all the instructions I needed, like how to video edit it, how to shoot it, how to tell the story. And then we had sessions every few weeks where they would invite special guest speakers who would talk about their storytelling experiences, and I thought that was really helpful as well. So one thing that I learned from the guest speakers was to choose a topic that you care about and that you enjoy, because you'll be able to make the best video out of that one, and you'll be able to just like speak from your heart and kind of just tell the story.
Now there's something to look forward to, and that's what's coming up next on MC in Focus.
But first, our student-made PSAs.
I really like this restaurant today. We should come here again sometime.
Yeah, this was awesome. We really should do this again. I think the service was amazing.
Now, more than ever, it's important to help each other out. Tips are how your server makes a living, so please, remember to help them out.
And welcome back to MC in Focus. Now let's hear from our own Robin Smith as she gets more information from Montgomery City Council member Craig Rice.
So I just have a few questions about the Council Member for a Day program. So the first one is, you started the program in 2015. What made you want to start this program?
So I've always been passionate about young people and leadership, and encouraging them to continue to get involved in so many ways. One of the things that's always troubled me is that oftentimes when I go to schools and I ask them what kids want to be when they grow up, I never hear them talk about elected officials. I never hear a person say, I want to be president or vice president. I never hear a person say, I want to be governor or I want to be a congressman. And that says something. It says something about what we're teaching our kids about government, about elected office. And so it really was one in which I wanted to encourage and have a way in which I could share with folks.
If you can compare the program to when it first started to how it is right now, what are some of the like major differences?
So it's light years difference. Let me say, when I first started this off, it was amazing because it was really just about having a young person just talk about something that was important to them, write an essay about what they believe needed to change in their community. What we've changed and migrated into now, which is really, really interesting, is one in which we're actually having people tell more documentary type stories. Our new iteration, coupled in a partnership with Apple, is one that actually has taken Council Member for a Day to a whole new level, and actually has the potential to go nationwide.
Now, you mentioned that the program was switching to video documentary style. Was that implemented before the COVID-19 shutdowns happened, or was it implemented afterwards?
Yeah,
And also, how difficult was it to make that transition?
So it started before. We had started already talking about how we were going to do this a little bit differently. Then COVID hit, so it was perfect timing for us in terms of migrating. But the logistics of it were a tremendous challenge. Obviously, not everybody has access to iPads and other types of equipment, and so making sure that that was where we leaned on Apple and others to help to partner. with us to help make this happen. But MCPS stepped up, Montgomery College stepped up, did what they needed to provide additional supports and mentors for our students. And so it really was an all hands on deck effort. So logistically, a lot more work. I really want to thank my staff and all the folks as well. A lot more work than what we've ever done before, but certainly well worth it. And I can't wait to see what the products that come out at the end are.
So when the schools were shut down and they were all virtual, was there any concern that maybe Council Member for a Day might get postponed or pushed back?
Absolutely. We talked about it. I still remember that meeting with my staff via Zoom to where we said, look, so are we going to do this or are we going to throw in the towel? But when we saw the number of students that applied for the program be basically the same number that it was pre-COVID, we were floored. And it just shows again that there are many students out there who really, really care and want to have their voices heard.
If you compare Council Member for a Day, like going virtual and then in person, have you noticed any benefits from it going virtual?
Yeah, I would say that some of the things with virtual, as with all of us, are that meetings are a lot easier to be had. And so it affords students a little bit more time. But the platform itself, the technology is one that we've seen has eked out, for better or for worse, more productive time for individuals across the board.
Going forward, do you have plans to keep it virtual, or did you want to maybe do like a fusion between in person and virtual?
I think we will see some sort of hybrid model that encompasses all of them.
Now, you mentioned earlier that when you first opened up the applications that you got around the same as you would have last year or years prior. But for some of the students that didn't apply just because, they may have felt like their voice wouldn't have been heard, or maybe they were just a little bit too shy, what advice do you have for those students?
So I would say that watch the showcase. When they see the final products, when they see these students, when they hear from them and talk about their evolution over the time, when they started Council Member for a Day to when they have their final product, I think that will be a sale in itself.
Now, other than Council Member for a Day, is there any other initiative policy-wise that you want to highlight?
Well, I would just say that again, for Council Member for a Day, I want to stress that this is something that working in conjunction with our National Association of Counties and others, that I hope to spawn in a much larger instance. And it doesn't have to be Council Member for a Day. It could be City Councilor for a Day. It could be, delegate for a day, whatever the case would be, but really having a robust program.
Now, if anyone wants to reach you to discuss more about this, how do they reach out to you?
Sure. So 240-777-7955 is my county office number. They can also reach us on Twitter. It's @Rice Politics. And on Facebook, it's Councilmember Craig Rice. And on Instagram, it's Councilmember Craig Rice as well.
Okay. Thank you once again, because I know you're super busy. But
Yeah,
thank
gotta
you, thank
hop
you,
on my
thank you.
next one. But no, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And take care and stay safe. All right.
All right, you too.
All right. Go Terps.
Bye bye.
And that wraps up MC in Focus for this semester. Once again, we would like to thank our guest, Councilmember Rice.
And we would like to give a huge thank you to the MC students for their creative PSAs. This semester sure has had its share of up and downs, right, Joey?
I'll say. Be sure to tune in next week for our MC Commencement Edition, as well as a behind-the-scenes look of our virtual journey from MC in Focus. I'm Joey Russell.
And I'm John Wildeman. See you next week, and stay safe out there.